Days after the horrific terrorist attack at Sydney's Bondi Beach on the 14th of December, Prime Minister of Australia, Anthony Albanese, has announced the launch of a major national gun buyback scheme. As estimated, the 4 million firearms are in circulation and across the country. The National Cabinet has also agreed to sweeping reforms. More in this report.
In wake to the devastating mass shooting at Sydney's Bondi Beach, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese announced a sweeping national gun buyback scheme. This is the largest such initiative since the landmark reforms following the 1996 Port Arthur massacre in Tasmania.
The government will establish a national gun buyback scheme to purchase surplus, newly banned and illegal firearms, the largest buyback since the Howard government initiated one in 1996. Australia's gun laws were last substantially reformed in the wake of the Port Arthur tragedy. The terrible events at Bondi show we need to get more guns off our streets.
Both federal and New South Wales state governments have committed to comprehensive reforms, including strengthened gun controls. So let's understand Australia's gun buyback scheme. The Australian government will establish a national gun buyback scheme to purchase surplus, newly banned and illegal firearms. The Australian Federal Police will be responsible for the destruction of surrendered firearms. The government proposes that states and territories agree to ambitious new gun law reforms no later than March 2026. The cost shared equally between the federal government and the state and the territories. The National Cabinet has also agreed to set limits on how many firearms a person can own. Under the changes, Australian citizenship will become a requirement for holding a gun license. Work on a national firearms register will be sped up, and firearms regulators will be given improved access to criminal intelligence.
There are now more than 4 million firearms in Australia, more than at the time of the Port Arthur massacre, nearly 30 years ago. The government will introduce legislation to support the funding of this buyback scheme and meet the costs on a 50-50 basis with states and territories. We expect hundreds of thousands of firearms will be collected and destroyed through this scheme.
A makeshift memorial near the beach has become a focal point for grief, adorned with flowers, candles and personal tributes. Among the victims was a 10-year-old Matilda, the youngest casualty, whose funeral was held on Thursday. Hundreds of surfers and swimmers converged on Bondi Beach on Friday for a poignant paddle-out tribute, forming circles in the water to honor the victims and reaffirm solidarity. Australian teenager Chaya Dadon, who shielded children during the Bondi Beach shooting, dismissed the hero label on Friday. Dadon spent 4 days at the Sydney Children's Hospital before returning home on Thursday.
I went under surgery and Baruch Hashem, it went well and they got the bullet out. And I'm walking on crutches now and I'm living my life to the fullest for the people who couldn't in that situation.
The tragedy unfolded on December 14 when a father and son duo opened fire on crowds gathered to celebrate Hanukkah, the Jewish festival of lights, killing 15 people and injuring dozens more. Bureau Report, DD India.